2020 NFL season has had a lot of great running backs continue to impress us all. What about the ones that just began to show us their skills? The 2020 running back class has been phenomenal from all over the draft. For Week 13, there were 3 running backs in the top 10 in rushing yards in James Robinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Antonio Gibson. But CEH did not play, and Gibson got injured in the first quarter of Week 13. There is also Jonathan Taylor, DAndre Swift, Zack Moss, J.K. Dobbins, and more who are talented, but have just not been given the opportunity to show what they are. Now, who is the best, who's the worst, and who will be the best in the long haul? Those are all questions I'm going to discuss in this video. But before I go on, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It takes almost no effort. To clarify, I'll be discussing the rookie running backs I feel are worthy of being talked about. So, for example, I will not be talking about Keyshawn Vaughn, because I do not see him ever getting an opportunity, with Rojo playing well and Leonard Fournette also being on the roster. Right now, the best is between James Robinson and Antonio Gibson. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the third best to me because he has the easiest job compared to the other two. Since there are so many weapons in Kansas City, it's hard to focus on just one of them, so Clyde definitely has the best chance at playing well compared to the other two. Now, that seems very pessimistic, but Helaire is a very, very talented player, and he'll be great as he develops for Kansas City. I'm just pointing out that he is in the best situation of every rookie running back. He may end up being the best back in this class, but I can't give him to right now due to his amazing situation. That was a godsend for him to be put in, and luckily because I don't know why he was picked as the first running back, but he was. So, good for him, he'll be great, but right now I can't give it to him. James Robinson to me is such a crazy story. He was undrafted, he's not supposed to have the opportunity to play with Fournette being in Jacksonville, and now he's a starter and has the third most rushing yards in the league with 968, while showing that every team made a mistake passing on him in the draft. The fact that he is doing so well in the dumpster fire Jacksonville is, with quarterback problems, even though I believe in Gardner Minshew, having a bad offensive line, and really being one of the only things defenses have to focus on the Jaguars offense, is insane. He's also running efficiently with 4.6 yards per carry, has 3 100-yard games, while also providing some work in the passing game. It really is remarkable how someone like Robinson can come out and succeed in a situation, given that he was not even given the opportunity to be drafted. Never mind making a team, being the starter, being one of the best running backs in the league. Moving on to Antonio Gibson, coming out of college he was seen as a gadget-type player, since he mostly played wide receiver in school. But now, he's a full-time running back for the Washington football team, after being drafted in the 3rd round, is playing way beyond his expectations. Only starting 8 of his 12 games, he has 659 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns on 141 attempts, while also tacking on 32 receptions for 233 yards. He's one of the few bright spots in Washington's offense outside of Terry McLaurin, and as of late, has seen his touches go up drastically. In the past 5 games he has fully played, since he was injured on Monday night, he has only had 1 game under 17 total touches, and has scored each of those games, adding 3 touchdowns on Thanksgiving. He definitely needs to be used more in the passing game, but J.D. McKissic has that role on lock right now, due to how well he does catching the ball from Alex Smith. I think he has the most potential out of all the running backs in this class, due to how natural the game looks for him. Watching Gibson play is a great thing to see, especially Thanksgiving, since he did so well. Like Robinson, the fact that he's playing so well is remarkable, given his situation. I can't imagine how he'll play when the offensive line and quarterback play improves, and when his role in the passing game increases. That's going to be scary. Jonathan Taylor. I hate talking about him. He's a top 3 offensive line in the league, and is not producing well. And before his 13 carry, 91 yards against the worst rushing defense in the league last week, he had 3.8 yards per carry. I thought he was going to be the first running back off the board, but obviously he was not. It's not near the best. He was put into a great situation, veteran-proven quarterback, a line with Quentin Nelson on it, that speaks for itself, a great defense, which helps the running game since they're able to take more time off the clock since the defense gets a lot of stops. I don't know what else he could ask for. He's just not been producing, outside the last 2 games. He's definitely the most disappointing back in this class, given how good of a prospect he was going into the draft. Obviously he has time to change, and I can look very stupid soon enough, and maybe the last 2 games are a sign of what things to come, but I don't know. But as of all the rookie running backs given a real opportunity, he looks the worst to me. I hope he finds a way to pick it up, because besides Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's in the best situation and has no reason to be producing to the level he is right now. He has 3 games under 2.5 yards per carry. You have such a good offensive line and that happens. I just don't get it. He's played against 4 teams in the bottom 10 of rushing yards allowed. In 2 of those games, he only had 44 yards combined. The Colts did lose one of those games, but still, even with the game script, he should have gotten over 9 carries for 22 yards. I apologize if I just rant about Jonathan Taylor. I was just so high on him heading into the season, and to say I'm disappointed is to say the least. He definitely has potential, but if he can't get it going now, with how good the team around him is, I don't know when he will, or if he will. Compared to the other rookie running backs, it's hard for me to say that he's supposed to be bad, because he's not. But hey, he's still a rookie, and has time to grow, and he definitely needs to grow, let me tell you. Moving on, I'm going to talk about these next two guys briefly. First is Zack Moss, who to me is very interesting. He's clearly the better running back in Buffalo, since Singletary is just not producing this year, and him and Singletary still split carries. I think he is very talented, but I do not see him having a chance at being the best back in this class, due to the Bills' heavy pass game with Josh Allen. I think the best move for the Bills would be to get rid of Devin Singletary this offseason, and give Moss the workload it seems like he deserves. Seeing him with a full workload will finally show us what Zack is, and I think that is a talented, starting caliber running back with potential to be great. Now I'll do the same with J.K. Dobbins. He is currently third on his team in rushing yards, playing in 10 of 11 games, and averages 5.1 yards per carry. Clearly the best back on the team right now, but is third on the team in attempts behind Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson. When he's finally given the full workload, which I think that is only possible if Mark Ingram is gone, he will prove to be a top 3 back from this class, at least I believe. But it may be difficult due to the poor offensive line play since Marshall Yonder retired. Hopefully they upgrade this unit outside of Ronnie Stanley and Orlando Brown, who is a starting caliber tackle. Dobbins is very talented, and like the next guy I'm going to talk about, could prove to be the best back in this class within a couple years. DAndre Swift has improved drastically after his game-losing drop in Week 1. After his 14 carry, 116 yard, 2 touchdown game and a win against Jacksonville early in the season, he should have been given the starting job, but did not happen until Week 10 against Washington. We had 16 carries for 81 yards and 5 catches for 68 yards. Before that game, he only had over 60% of the team's offensive snaps once, proving he has not been given the opportunity that he had before his injury. Obviously, like I just said, he's missed the past 3 games. I think out of all the running backs that have not been given the right opportunity, he has the best chance of proving he's the best back in this class due to his immense talent he has displayed in Detroit, which is a horrible place to be if you're a running back. Swift has everything in his bag and can easily prove to be great within the next few years when he's given the full-time starting job, which was taken away from him due to an injury this year since he was supposed to be the starter come the back half of the season. Moving on to the question at hand, who is the best? Well, right now, it is obviously James Robinson, due to how dominant he has been for a bad team with a horrible situation around him. Who will have the most accolades? Edwards-Helaire, most likely, since he's in such a great position to succeed. Maybe he'll win a Super Bowl, maybe he'll randomly get a Super Bowl MVP because he goes off. Who'll be the best in the long run? No doubt Antonio Gibson. The game looks too easy to him. Even with being on a bad, somehow playoff team, and they just beat the Steelers, plus his receiving ability will be shown once he is given more of an opportunity in that part of the game. I see him as a Christian McCaffrey type player by the time he is in his prime. Now, I am not saying he is Christian McCaffrey, but he has a similar ability to catch the ball in my opinion. Since he was a receiver in college, that part should just come naturally to him. James Robinson and DAndre Swift will be close, but I think Gibson will edge them out due to his potential to dominate through the air and on the ground. While all of these backs will be good, Antonio Gibson will prove to us that he will produce for the rest of the decade and be the best running back from the 2020 NFL draft class. With all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Fanatic Sports. Hope you all liked the video. If you did, please subscribe and hit the like button. It only takes like 2 seconds. Also, follow me on Instagram @FanaticSports25 and on Twitter @FanaticSports. Now, before I end the video, who do you think will be the best rookie running back for the next decade?